All right.
I told him we'd make him wait if they kept asking.
Well, yeah. I guarantee you this show is not going to go normally, guys. I guarantee you that.
Welcome to the Dysfunctional Hunters Hangout.
This is tonight's show of the Dysfunctional Hunters episode.
Oh my goodness!
Right, so
it's fitting. I'm not ashamed. I like it.
Yeah, pretty much nothing is going right all day. So, all right. Well, welcome to Hunters Hangout. This is the sixth. What?
Don't do that.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to share my screen. It's not working. Just go ahead. Keep going. Just go. Just go with it.
Okay, let me do that again.
We're already starting out great.
Okay.
Here we go.
Starting out great. Okay. Welcome to season 6, episode 3, and we got some amazing hunters on. We got Darren Smith, Chris Long, Justin Hill, Joe Klein, Just Bill.
Yes.
So we got some amazing all these pro hunters. They're going to tell you all their tips. All their. You got me thinking about that tip thing. So.
Oh boy.
Tricks and tips.
I'm distracted.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna go right to the prizes, and Jamie Huggins is going to tell you what we can win today.
I'm gonna try.
Good grief.
Okay. So you can see my pictures, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. The first prize for tonight is this awesome mask from Face Factory FX.
Woo! All right.
Then we have 2 flash crackers from Fright Props.
Not 1, but 2.
2 of them.
Yeah.
All right. Then Sinful Audio is going to give 1 lucky winner 1 free SFX library, and then while they're there, they can also get 25% off of original sound design and 10% off of amps or speakers.
When they're at Transworld?
No, when they're at their site ordering.
Yeah. All right. You ain't gotta wait. Yeah.
And then we have the horror ornaments.
Yeah, you still messed it up.
I'm working on it. By the end of the season, we'll get it. They're giving away.
It's ornaments.
Horror ornaments.
Ornaments.
You watch a horror movie, okay, anyway. They're giving away this awesome Reaper ornament. Very cool.
Oh, nice.
Then we have 1 gallon of fog from Froggy's Fog. Yay! Okay, now from Hot Labs, they didn't have a good picture, so we got to explain this. This is their flicker fluorescent kit. And what this does is it turns any old fluorescent light fixtures into flickering bright light, typically only available in Hollywood special effects departments. Very cool.
Oh, yeah. There you go. I want one of them.
Me too. Okay, then Sam Haynes. Everybody watching tonight can go to their website, and they will get 50% off if they put in the code HAUNTERS, all capital letters.
Cool.
Yeah, and usually stuff's so cheap, it's like you might pay like $1 for it,
Or 50 cents.
Yeah, awesome. 50 cents.
So go do that.
Yes.
Then 1 lucky person is going to win a realistic-looking skull from Nightmare Makers.
Woohoo!
Everybody wants to win.
Oh, hey, hold up. I gotta give them their props, man.
Oh, heck yeah.
Woo!
And you can get this t-shirt from them. We're not giving it away for free tonight, but you need to go buy one.
No, you ain't getting my t-shirt.
Okay, then from I Love FX Makeup, someone is getting Hollywood FX Hybrid Alcohol Airbrush Makeup in Glow Blue and Glow Green.
Woohoo!
Every time I mess up, I have to drink.
Sounds like you said blow green.
Green. It'll be fine. Then these graphics seem smaller than usual. Okay, then someone wins 1 pair of non-prescription lenses from Exotic Lenses. Yay!
Woo! Hey, you gave me like a long old sentence to do. You did that real quick.
It's not my fault. I'm faster than you.
Uh-huh.
Okay, then some lucky winner wins.
Oh, good God.
Everybody drink. trying to make this fun for you people. Okay, one winner will receive their choice of one of 4 knives from Hardcore Fabrications and this awesome t-shirt.
Woohoo!
Very cool.
I need another t-shirt.
And then our brand new sponsor, joined us this week, is Hot Wire Foam Factory, and they're giving away a $25 gift certificate. Woo! Very cool.
Man, a lot of prizes. But
wait, we're not done yet.
Oh, we're not.
Wait, call now and you will receive. So in 2 weeks, we are going to do a makeup show, which is going to be a lot of fun.
2 weeks.
Yeah, in 2 weeks. And one of the things that we're going to see is Justin Fierce from Phobius is going to be applying this brow prosthetic. Everybody drink. And we're giving one away tonight, so you can do it along with the show in 2 weeks. So that's a prize for tonight. So yay! And also, since we're talking about Phobius Haunted House, if you're going to Transworld this year, don't miss out on their 2018 Rogue Tour. It's not a ticket at Transworld, but if you visit phobiushaunt.com, you can find out all the information you need to do that.
All right, man, that's awesome. Now.
Yeah. Oh, and one last thing. After you finish watching these amazing haunters tonight, and believe me, they are amazing, you're going to want to go home and build something awesome. So visit our hauntershangout.org website and peruse through our over 1,000 tutorials on different things that you can make.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. That's it. I'm done.
You done? Woo,
I'm done.
Nice job, Amy. Nice job.
Thank you.
That was pretty good.
Thank you. I'm getting a professional at this or something.
I was pretty impressed, to be honest.
That's probably because you were drinking every time I messed up. Now you're drunk.
I was, too. I'm drunk now every time you mess up.
The night is young. Let's keep going.
Right. All right, we're going to move on to Darren and Chris, Jail of Terrors, and just tell us a little bit about your haunt and, now you got started. Okay, moving on.
Don't be shy. Come on, just jump right in there.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right, we work in a historical jail. It's a county-owned building, and we have probably one of the only haunts you guys know of that has to tear down each year and put back up. It takes about 3 weeks to 4 weeks to set up.
4 weeks, yep.
We do charge to get in, and all the money goes to the restoration of the jail. The building was built in 1889, and like I said, it's a county historical building. So me and Chris get together in August and start to set it up, and trailer comes in, we build it, tear it back down, get like 6 to 8 days to tear it down, put it back up. Putting it up, we get about a month.
Oh, so you guys only have 4 months to put it up? Is it in the actual jail?
Get a month to put it up.
We get 4 weeks.
Oh, 4 weeks?
Yeah. From it's all through the year they do historical tours and different things in the jail. That's a big thing that my wife does, like all year there. Terry, she does that. Different things. Do flashlight tours and haunted attractions and ghost hunts and things like that. And then once they just clear a small slate for us to clean up and start building, and then we have the haunt, and then we got to get done with that by like November 10th every year and start over with it. So yeah, it's usually pretty crazy.
That is crazy. All right, we're gonna move on. We're gonna move. Hello.
Come in.
We're gonna move over to Justin Hill, and he has the Haunted Hills Hospital. Same question.
Well, I've been haunting for this year is a decade that I've been haunting. We recently, in the past few years, we've went from home haunt to pro haunt. It's been an awesome experience, awesome journey. And actually, this last year, we just moved into a building that we have for a longer amount of time. So this was like our first year that our haunt's actually up right now, which is strange. we've literally not stopped working ever since May of last year. Just our build, our haunt, we ended up opening up even more haunts. We did holiday haunt, and then last weekend we had a Valentine's haunt. And now we've already started work on next year's haunt. So literally the day after our last haunt closed, we started ripping out stuff, whole walls and stuff that we are remodeling for next year. So
that's awesome. It's crazy,
fun
man.
So far.
Yeah, how fun is that? It's just to build all day long.
Oh yeah.
It might get a little crazy, but I'm thinking it's fun.
It is. It's definitely weird when I walk in and I know that this is not just like our haunted house. It's like our office. It's like our space where we can make stuff. And yeah, it's awesome.
That's killer. All right, we're going to go down the line to Joe Klein. He has the Ravenhurst Manor.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Woohoo.
Yeah, we
Did everybody freeze or just me?
Just you.
Mine's moving. We've been doing home haunts for we started as yard haunters way back in 2006. We finally got into a place where we could do garage haunts in 2014, so we did that for 3 years. And then this last year we finally got a deal where we could go to a big building. So we have approximately 4,000 square feet we can use. But right now, last year we got up to right about 3,000 square feet. So we got another 1,000 square feet to build this year. And it's just been sick. It's been cool. It's been everything I wanted it to be. It's a huge undertaking. It's been a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun. So we're encouraged for this year. And last year, I know industry-wide, Mother Nature kind of decided to screw everybody. And she did that to us hardcore in Iowa. It rained on us every Saturday. But
You guys outside?
No, we're indoors. But when it rains and thunderstorms for 6 hours a day, people say, screw it, we're not coming out.
Right.
So we got a covered queue line, but it just kind of put a damper on us. But we're rearing to go for this year. We got a lot to build, and we're really excited for this season.
Yeah, I'm waiting for someone to come on the show that has a pro haunt in new and just building in Michigan. That'd be awesome.
Well, you got to do that for next year.
I wish. All righty, we're going to move over to Just Bill, MindTrap, haunted attraction.
Yeah, just know me as Just Bill. My whole name doesn't matter. So, thanks to this show. But anyway, I started doing this back in the 80s. That would be 1980s. I was helping out my father in a yard haunt and just kind of fell in love with it. And then I started to take over with the yard display and moved up to somebody actually coming forward to me who owns a paintball facility all indoors. And he asked me to do a pro haunt. And I've been doing it for 6 years now as a pro, 4,000 square feet. And I do tear mine down every year. And get ready for this comment. I bet Diablo's the first. So I set it up in a week.
Wow.
And if you don't believe me, you go to my YouTube channel. I documented it all. I Marine Corps the crap out of that thing. I put it up. My dad and I put it up in less than a week, 4,000 square feet every year. So it's pretty intense. I make myself sick every year, but I love it.
I was following around. That shit was insane. I was like, damn.
Yeah. Hey, not to make you feel old either, but I wasn't born in 1980, so.
Oh my gosh. You invited that guy.
That's our picture guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, don't go anywhere. Phil, we forgive you.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, we're gonna move on to Darren and Chris. We got a couple questions. What kind of skills and experience you need to actually build a haunted attraction? Is there anything special that you need to like start something like that? And the second question is, how do you decide what your customers want as far as interactive experiences, and how do you know what themes are going to work for you?
That's a lot to.
Experience. You got to know a lot of ability and experience. You got to have a wild imagination. So we try to create different scenes every year, different theories. Just got to, because we're only allowed to use 2 floors of the cell blocks. in the basement, and then we have huge tents outside. So we have to, you got to have experience in building. You got to have a hell of an imagination.
Yeah, we got to be creative too, because we don't want to damage our historical building either. It's not like we're building in a warehouse or something. So
you guys are like the main guys for creating all the scenes and sets.
Yeah,
it's just me, Chris, and his wife Terry are the main haunt management.
Right.
We did all that.
You guys, do you guys change the theme ever, or basically?
Yeah, we try to change up our themes every year just so it's not the same. It's not a big town, and we're the only haunted to try to keep it exciting. So yeah, between the three of us, we have we have an actor director. He takes care of the actors. Me and Chris and Terry and him do the hiring of all the kids. So yeah, you got to have a lot of time.
Right.
And you have to have energy.
What theme really works for you guys in your area? One of your favorite ones that people really seem to enjoy?
We try to stick with the theme because it is an old jail and they're going through cell blocks. So you got to kind of keep it. We do it like a zombie on one floor. Last year we did a mental ward on one of the floors. Of course, the clown tent, with the evil clowns out in the tent. Just more of a mental, psychotic type theme. This year we haven't really come up with anything yet, but I'm sure we will.
Yeah, we had about an 800 square foot tent last year with like psychotic clowns in it, and that worked out pretty well.
Here's a picture of the front of it. I mean, it's pretty massive. It's wow. I can see where you say is historical too. So
yeah, can you guys decorate the yard around basically the prison there?
Yeah, we put lighting up sometimes. Most of the action's in the back of the building. That's the front of the building you're looking at there. That's where they go in to get their tickets. The jail has living quarters in the front. Those 3 floors are living quarters. The back is actual jail cells. So they go up the driveway on the right-hand side of the building to get in line and go into the back of the building. Nice. So yeah, you got to be careful too, because it is a building, so we can't be destroying the building. So we got to be careful.
That thing's huge.
It is. Good God.
Yeah.
That is an awesome building. That's very cool.
That just makes it like I'd be creeped out a little bit just walking up to that building. That's awesome.
At night with a little fog 4 floors of cells plus the basement, like the drunk tank and the solitary confinement area, and then the whole building itself is about 15,000 square feet. So I mean, it's not small by any means.
But they only allow us to use so much due to fire codes. We're only allowed so many people in the building at a time. So we use 2 cell floors in the basement.
Yep.
All right. Well, we're going to move over to Justin. Probably the same questions. If you need me to repeat them, I can.
Yeah, please.
Okay. What are the skills and experience you might need to build a haunted attraction? And how do you decide what your customers want as far as like interactive experiences? And, how do you go about your themes? And do you change them?
All right. So, like I kind of explained, I've been haunting for a decade. So I started when I was really young. So I had no skills. And so to start, I'd say you don't need any skills. But as I've went on, I've learned everything I've needed to. It's in this age, you can learn anything you need to on YouTube. I've learned skills of woodworking and building and how I use CAD, editing, audio editing, everything I've needed to. I've just kind of learned because I needed to learn it. So that's that. And with the audience, I'd say you need to start out from a place with what you want. And you need to kind of know what kind of a show do you want to have. We've worked for a long time to establish ourselves as this kind of like extreme, intense haunted house because I really don't want a lot of kids at my haunted house. I want adults coming to my show. But there was a lot of years where they brought kids and I have my show and there's a bunch of parents who are like, oh my God, what's wrong? Why are you evil? You're worshiping a devil and all this stuff. I'm like, I'm really not. It's just Halloween. And it's just my show. And now I've hit a point where I'm hitting the adult crowds. They are hanging out at our haunted house after a bar or after a party and stuff like that. And they love our brand of entertainment. Our show is a little dirty. It's a little hot, a little bothered, is stuff like that. So I'd say
I'm feeling enough.
yeah. So
keep it coming, bro.
I'd say that you obviously have to worry about your audience, because you can't just make everyone mad to where they don't come, but you have to kind of weed out a few
see
people.
how you work that in there too. Come on.
Yeah.
Not for everybody.
So, yeah.
All right. That's cool. Okay, we're gonna move over to Joe. Same question.
My wife's here too. She, I can't knock her out of it because she helped me build most of it.
Well, you can let your wife talk, and then you just sit there and be
she
quiet.
She talk better than I can. Go for it. Look, she said no.
Talked all day.
I think a big thing for us was, you know, the skills and the experience to build comes from building it yourself in your garage or your yard, and a lot of it comes from friends you had too. I mean, we have really close friends of ours that do it, probably the best haunted garage in our town and have for a long time. And they taught us tons of stuff. And if we didn't know these people and we didn't know other friends we have that have taught us these things, we'd never be where we're at now. So all that combined gave us the encouragement and excitement to be like, you know what, we can do this finally. An opportunity is presented for us. We said we're going to go for it.
There you go.
So all that plays in. As far as what we do to change it up, last year was our first year as a pro haunt. I'm going to add to it this year. And then next year, I'm going to change the entire walkthrough, which is going to be a huge project because I got to tear everything down minus my facade and change the entire walkthrough. But kind of what, you know, the other guys before us said is if we keep it the same, people are going to get tired of that and they're going to expect that in 4 years. I want to be over the top. I want everybody that comes through to be like, holy crap, this was so cool. They didn't do this last year. They keep changing it. It's always something new, so they're not afraid to spend the $20 or $25 to come through it. They're going to tell all their friends. That's what we want. I want repeat customers like any other business, and I want them to be excited about it.
Oh, cool.
That's awesome.
All right, we're going to move over to Just Bill.
Just Bill.
Just Bill, MindTrap.
I'm going to pretend like I remember the question, so I'll just start talking. Okay, so skills needed. Let's see. Somebody's got to have a vision. I'm the visionary in my haunt. I'm artistic, not autistic. I'm artistic. And so I build all my own props. That doesn't work with everybody, but I'm not real big on buying a lot of stuff, but I do build a lot of my stuff. Another thing that I think is really important is compromise with your significant other, being that this consumes your life so much. And luckily, I'm in a relationship where she helps me out. Actually, she's my makeup girl and my greeter and my actor manager, so that helps.
Nice.
Themes, was that the other question about themes for what your customers need and how to cater to them and stuff like that?
Yep.
Okay. Man, I'm awesome. Okay.
Yeah,
so
that's pretty impressive.
So my haunt is a lot of misdirection and wrong ways, doors that lead to nowhere, stuff like that. So I stick with that every year because that seems to work really well. And a lot of people get stuck, and actors have to stay in character and show them the way out. But I try to cover everybody's fears throughout the haunt, where there's at least one room in there where somebody's like, oh, well, you don't have any clowns in here. You know, the go-to clowns or old ladies in aprons. Somebody came up to us last year and said, what's your biggest fear? And he goes, old ladies in apron. Like, you got to be kidding me. We got one of those. Yeah. So, you know, it's great to just be able to cover everybody's fear like that. But I always stick with the same thing of doors that go to nowhere and stuff like that. That works really good for me.
So you always keep the same thing?
Oh, it's always different since I tear down every year. But the thing that it's always the same is a series of doors that lead to nowhere. So I mean, it's totally redone, but that concept of a door that goes to, it's not always the same door. So.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, we're gonna move back over to Darren and Chris. We're gonna go over some pictures. I know we showed 2 of them, and Phil's gonna show 1 more. I tricked him on that one. Oh, that's badass.
That there is our electric chair, pneumatic in the basement. We got that on lease from the factory tear. We do a lot of work with them. They're the ones that actually helped us get started. He keeps us in good stuff like that. I think we own that.
So you lease props?
We started leasing props from them the first year. And now I think we own them, and they got us started, got us off the ground. John from factory tear. So that one I think we do own now. And Chris has actually fixed it up to where it works better because it is old. It's one of the, I can't remember who made that. I'm sure you guys remember his name, but that's one of his first original props. And it's starting to fall apart because he is a foam person, but we've got it working now and added new lights, new strobes, firecrackers on it. So he's probably one of the best props we have in there.
Would you guys recommend for starting Pro Haunt to do leasing? Did it help you guys out in the beginning?
If you have a company like Factory Tear that likes to work with other hunts and get them started, yeah, because they got us started and got us into the knowledge, because both of us started not knowing much about the haunt. It was just an idea that they wanted to throw out for the building, and now me and him are hooked. So yeah, if you know somebody that's experienced and can help you, I would suggest if you're going to do props to start off that way because it's cheaper. And then you get an idea of how they all work, and then you can start buying your own.
Oh, who's that?
Oh, I know that prop.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that one. Yeah, that's our rat. We usually move him around every year. He's usually in the end of a cell block. So when they come out of the cells from the actors, he's hidden in the corner. Of course, the actor brings him out. Scares the hell out of him, but he's probably one of the favorites by all the kids that come through.
Do they walk right where you're standing, or just by that door right there?
That cell door behind me is usually controlled by an actor.
It slides open.
It slides open, and then as he walks away into the curtain behind me, they come out, and then the rat comes out of the dark.
We have a question for you guys. Have you? Oh, I just lost it. Have you?
Okay, moving on.
Have you ever tried changing the theme, considering your haunt is in a prison? And if so, were you successful?
Yeah, we try to change the theme every year. Like I said, we do a zombie scene on one floor, and that one's usually going to stick with us all the time, like the zombie inmate type. And we did a mental ward on the second floor last year. This year, we haven't quite decided, but we'd like to change the theme every year, just to keep it interesting.
Like last year, we did the mental ward on the second floor cell block, and that was the first time for doing that. And that was the first time we had the second floor availability. And yeah, that worked out. That was, one of our top areas. So yeah.
Phil, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Phil.
No, I just have a question in regards to this photo again. I see you guys have a lot of white walls. Is that a big problem for your haunt, or because you like to get scenes together and probably makeup? Is it tough to try to incorporate all that in a room that's completely white?
Most of our rooms are just weird right there, because that was like during the day, like even during when we were open. Most of it's pretty dark. You can see kind of in the background there, we have like blue light bulbs we change with all the cell block lighting, and it changes everything to kind of a dim blue cast. And then like our entire basement is like pitch black, like down where the solitary confinement is. You can't see your hand in front of your face. It's all strobed out. I mean, it's crazy down there.
Nice.
Yeah. And that's just that there is Terry. That's Chris's
that's
wife.
My wife right there.
And she's doing makeup on a YouTube, a vlogger.
Oh, cool.
Chase Gilroy.
Yeah, Chase Gilroy is his name. He was a guest actor for the evening, but Terry is the makeup artist.
How many makeup artists do you guys have?
We run her and 3 others.
Yeah, so there's 4 total.
You guys pay your makeup guys?
What's that?
Do you guys pay them, or they just volunteer?
Everybody that works in the haunt's paid. Actors and shit.
Nice.
Samantha Black wants to know, how many floors do you have in your haunt?
The haunt, we only do 3 floors. We do 2 cell blocks and in the basement. And the actual building has 4 floors of cell blocks, but we're not allowed to use all 4 floors as of now because of the fire codes.
Gotcha. All right, we're going to move on to Justin, and we're going to show some pictures. Just give us a little. Oh, that does look good.
All right, so this one here is in what we call Ward H. So pretty much what we've done is we're really huge on like our lore and our kind of the tale of our haunted house. And I always like expanding it and adding stuff. Kind of to answer the last question, in my theme, I kind of find a way to squeeze whatever I want into my theme. So I don't have to have a doctor and a nurse and a patient in every room. I come up with like a new way to make whatever so I have clowns, or I have a zombie ward, which is Ward H here. And pretty much what happened in there is it's a ward that was actually built by a company that's called Truman Corp. And they're coming up with a way to help us win World War II, because my haunted house happens way back when World War II was still happening. And pretty much what happened was there was a gas leak, and instead of handling it and cleaning it up and all that stuff, they just kind of walled it off, and whatever happened in there happened, and they left. And now that our building has had a riot and all this stuff, the wall that was walled off was broken down, and they opened it up and found, oh, look, zombies. So now there's a bunch of crazy people who are all dead running around. And yeah, it's pretty fun because it's the entrance of it is also a checkpoint where you meet a guy who is kind of a spokesman of the company, and he's everything you've experienced until there has been crazy and scary and all this. And then you meet him and he's like, well, hi, welcome to Truman Corp. How you doing today? And he's really nice, over the top about everything, and will not admit that there's like a crazy attack happening around him. So it's a really interesting area of our haunt.
Right.
Yeah. So
well, Jordan. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
You're fine. Well, what's up?
Oh, well, Jordan Maddox wants to know, what would you consider as the hardest part from switching from a home haunt to a pro haunt?
Moving all the stuff. I mean, the hardest part is really learning what's okay and what's not. I think the hardest part about last year was the stress of like our fire code, because when we were in our yard, we didn't have to worry about any of that. And then we moved and we didn't really know any stuff about it. And also like, we had this kind of relationship because our haunt was really big, even in our yard, to where it never, if it was anyone else, it wouldn't have happened. But we know a lot of people, so we kind of squeezed in these small areas, and it was kind of like our town was allowing us, and we didn't like it because our content, we had it approved every year, and they had all these crazy ideas and stuff about what we weren't allowed in our haunted house. So it was really strange when a fire marshal is walking through and ordering around stuff that's not involved in a fire code at all. So that was kind of tough. And I think really the hardest part is knowing that now you're a pro haunt and anything that you had leeway on at home, you can't have anymore. So like you can't not open on time. If you can't not have actors there, you can't have half a show anymore. So that's really kind of rising up on that is one of the hardest things. And really one thing I've worked on over the past year is my old cast who is used to kind of screwing around and not it's a home haunt, it's kind of a party, it's kind of us hanging out, and now it's not anymore, and now it's a job. A lot of my old cast doesn't understand that, and they think that they can still screw around. So we're in this weird area where a lot of our old cast is either hanging out and having it as a job, or they are leaving because they don't like that it's a job and that there are a lot of rules and stuff like that. So
poor babies.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to move on to Joe Klein. We're going to show some pictures. Do I got you, Phil?
You put me on the spot now.
You know what? I have a question for Joe while he's figuring it out. Brendan Frederick wants to know for Joe, do you prefer to buy props or build them?
It's a good question, Brandon. It's an excellent question. We actually prefer to build our own. There's a shot of the cemetery scene. Part of it, it's a small shot, but what you're looking at there is they come into our haunt, and they kind of wind around the cemetery to their left, and the facade is to the right, and the concrete there you're seeing is the path they're on. But the fence and the tombstones and the crypts, all that in there we built ourselves.
Oh, nice.
I mean,
everything
is this inside what you're seeing here?
This is indoors, correct. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, shit.
So we've got a 20-foot facade on the right there that goes up 20 feet high to the peak. So it looks like it's a good 3-story building inside of a 20-foot rafter machine shed. But to Brandon's question, we like to build our own. I go to Transworld. I look at all this really cool stuff. We've been there every year for 8 years. It's awesome stuff. But my budget, I can't afford $4,000 a prop. I can't. So I look at it. I talk to people. I go home and I build my stuff. If there's props I can't afford to buy, I will buy it from them because I understand they're in business. But yeah, if I can make it, I'll make it.
Right.
I'm absolutely game with buying it from people if I can't make it, but I want to try to make it.
Right. But if you get a chance to buy it, you know where to buy it from, right?
Oh, absolutely. We buy tons of stuff from all our sponsors, you guys.
Right. Sponsors on that. That's where you get the stuff.
Froggies gets me for a bunch of money every year, and I have no choice, and it's awesome stuff. What are you going to do? So,
Joe, in this picture here, did you bring all those leaves in?
I sure did. Yeah, we trashed.
Oh, my God.
Dude, that took us like 4 hours one Saturday, and we live an hour from our haunt.
And there's dirt under those leaves that we hauled.
Really?
Oh my God.
The detail.
Yeah. That was a shitty weekend, but it's so awesome. It was cool.
Oh, I love this one.
This is cool.
It's a picture of our corpse hallway, and this is from the back. So normally, what we're looking at it backwards now. So people are walking down from the other end, but I got a better angle this way.
Well, Phil, flip it around.
Yeah, let me get it on there.
A weak link.
I wanted to have a corpse hallway, and I wanted the corpses to fall. And so I designed this rig in my head for the corpses to be animatronics and fall down on people. And I will say I was met with some roadblocks on that as far as people helping me. They're like, I don't know if it's going to work. I'm like, oh, it's going to work. Just let's go work on something else. But this is very primitive. This is the first year. There's 6 corpses in that hallway, and 3 of them fall on you as you enter and walk in. It's really cool. There's a lot to be added to it this year, but that's probably one of my favorite rooms in the whole haunted house.
As in dropping, are you saying like a pneumatic is popping them out, or are they falling from a cable?
No, they're pneumatic. They're all air driven, and so the rigs I built. So the ones that move are sitting on just a pretty much a barrel hinge in the wall, and they move about 18 degrees. And they've got speakers in the chest cavity, so you get a real full feeling that they're really falling on top of you. There's not speakers above them.
Wow.
It's very interactive with the customers, and they really like it.
What'd you use for your walls too? Because that looks different than what I've seen.
They're they're basic, just sheeting and 2x3 walls that I I put burlap over it, and we distressed them.
Oh, so it's all burlap. Okay, it looks different
a
in the
lot of
picture.
burlap,
Yeah.
That's another
Is this
shot of
enough?
our cemetery.
Nice.
You can see on the back left, there's a statue we made. Well, she made. It's super cool, but it took her a long time to make it. But yeah, those are all handmade props.
Wow.
Nice. Is that inside too?
That is inside, and we have thunder and lightning in that scene. So when they come into our part of the haunted house, there's 2 haunted houses in this whole building. This is a 12 or 10,000 square foot haunted attraction. There's another haunted house in front of us, and then they come into ours. When they come into ours, it's all indoors, but when they come into ours, we make them feel like they're outside. So when they see the cemetery in our facade, there's thunder, there's lightning, there's fog. There will be rain coming down on them this year, so they actually get a little moist, if you will.
I gotta use moist.
Christopher Presley wants to know what kind of lights those are.
Those are just blue LEDs that you can buy at Menards or Lowe's or Home Depot. And I went to LEDs because if you just buy the party bulbs, the bulbs fade. So eventually you're just going to get white lights. So LEDs are totally worth it. This room you're seeing here is right after our corpse hallway. This is our basement scene. We did a bunch of our own rusty pipes. We used some brutal rust. We used some rust dust. A couple different variances. There's the wheel on the left is a wheelchair wheel. I pulled off a wheelchair and threw on the wall and rusted it up. Bunch of spider webs. It's pipe steam from the top. It's a pretty cool room. We like it.
We've had quite a few questions on what kind of music or sounds do you play inside your haunt?
We use a lot of ambient sound. I love to have background music. It's just way up top. I have speakers hung that are about 20 feet high in strategic spots in the haunt. And then we do a lot of Midnight Syndicate. I like their background music a lot. It's creepy. It's eerie. I can flow through tracks. It's pretty fun. And then inside the rooms, I can do the actual, scares, the scare sounds I want. So that ambient sound is always playing. And then we can get the scare sounds we want with whatever scares in whatever room. So they're just always on edge because they hear everything in the background. And the thunder and lightning is so loud in that cemetery. You can hear it, like it fades away when you get to the basement here in the next couple of rooms. As you move, you snake your way back towards the front. That thunder and lightning is loud again, and you can see it from the inside, the lightning. So we're just playing on everybody's senses. And that's what I wanted to do. I want to attack senses all the way around.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna move over to Bill. Bill, what's his last name?
Cough, cough, cough. Nobody.
Just Bill.
Yep.
Just Bill. We're moving to Just Bill MindTrap Haunted Attraction, and we're gonna look at this picture right here.
All right, so this is my entrance. Well, part of it. This is the last part of the queue line they see before they actually walk into the haunt. It's just a cool little angle for a paintball field. So they kind of get a feeling of walking through a little bit of a swamp cemetery before they enter. Which
is this outside or inside?
This is all inside.
Huh?
So I'm getting rid of all that and redoing the whole facade this year because I'm an idiot. And I like a challenge, apparently. I added this picture in here because that's actually me right there. That's my door into the haunt. The main door is the one with the skull on it. And then I have Just Bill door where I go in and out of that door. And so that's me standing right there. And that's just a mask for Melon Hops. And then the rest is thrown together. Oh, actually, that's a boomstick from Fright Props. That's one of your sponsors.
Yeah. Woo! There you go, boy. Look at that.
What's that black curtain? Is that like a drop panel or something that you could pop out of?
Oh, yeah. That's just a window because I kept moving the facade around. But like I said, I hate that whole facade and I'm getting rid of it. So I'm redoing the whole facade. I have a lot of heights to work with. I've got about 25 feet to work with. So nice. I'm building up. Just as long as nobody sees me assemble it, I think we'll be okay, and nobody touches it.
Well, Sean Boswell wants to know how many actors do you have in your haunt, and do you train them yourself?
There's never enough. But last year was the most I ever had, and they all showed up almost every single night. It depends because we're open, instead of we're open multiple weekends, we've played around with dates. So we've been open for like 5 or 6 days straight. And it's hard for those actors to come every single night. But last year they The majority of them did come every single night, and that was about 20 of them. But they do multiple scenes too. I have an actor's highway that runs right through the middle of the whole thing, so they can get into different scenes just from the middle. So it's real easy to get around.
Yeah, that's what I always wish I had in my haunts, is just like that, where they could go up and down and access every room. I need to do that next time.
Yeah, it's right straight down the middle, and they can access any room in the haunt that way. So it works out really good.
I always loved that idea, but I always was concerned about it taking up too much space. Did you ever run into that?
No, I build around that, and I just kind of zigzag back and forth around that line, and then nobody even realizes that it's there until they get freaked out and they're escorted out. They'll get escorted out through the actor's highway, so they don't have to go all the way through.
Right. It looks like all this whole decor here is all airbrushed in, is it?
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
it is. This is my waiting room. This is when I first get them into haunt, it's a non-guided haunt, so they're on their own, and they get very limited instructions. But if they get stuck in a room, somebody's going to show them out. So they just get shoved into this room, and then they just try to figure out what to do. And eventually they figure out you got to open the damn door. But but people will stand in there for like ever, just waiting for something to happen, and it works out great because there's no actor in there. When they see that nobody's coming through, they'll get involved, but people are really scaring themselves just from the shit around them. So it works great.
Well, we've had quite a few people asking, how big is your haunt? What's the size?
4,000 square feet.
Holy cow.
Wow. Now, did you paint all that yourself, or did you have somebody paint that?
No, I painted it. So I kind of went off.
The detail on the wood and everything is like great. That's awesome.
Well, thank you. It's just OSB, 7/16, maybe ½ inch. I can't remember, with some 2x2s behind it. And then I went about 3 feet up there and added some trim onto it, and just kind of stuck with the same paint scene. So when they get butted up to each other, it looks like a whole wall. There's like 6 of those to make up that room. One's got a bookcase on it and all this crap. So, and then I threw a bunch of that stuff that looks like poop on there. That's just painting. What is it? Not drywall. Sawdust. Painting sawdust. It makes a really hard, compacted material, and I just threw it on there. Yeah, works great. I tend to collect a lot of older TVs because I think they're creepy with the static. Before they went into the blue screen. Yeah, and this is one of my actors from last year. He was new, but this is one of the things he did in that scene, and it really worked out great. And he was actually working with another actor in that room, and you can barely see her. She's in the upper left-hand corner, but you're focusing on him.
Oh yeah, I can see
her. She's hanging out back there. That's Mother. She was the lady with the apron on, and so she'd come out behind the little shadow there. She just found a perfect spot in the room, and that room worked really well. There's like a poltergeist video playing on one of those TVs, and the rest were just staticky.
That's cool. I'd love to make a wall like that, just all TVs.
Yeah, I lose 1 or 2 TVs every year, but then I end up picking 3 or 4 up off the street, or in the garbage.
Probably heavy as shit too.
Yeah, I try to get rid of those bigger ones. That one that he's got his hand on is one of those old Magnavox ones, with the wooden panels on the side. That thing weighs a frickin' ton.
Right. It'll probably be the last one too.
Yeah, it'll probably be the one that lasts the longest.
Yeah.
Rita Gibbard wants to know, what is your single most favorite time saver trick for putting up a haunt so fast?
I do it all myself. So I don't know. I work until I start throwing stuff. When I start throwing stuff, I know it's time to take a break. But I don't have anybody helping me. I just kind of make it up as I go along. So I don't know what a time saver is. I try to do a floor plan, but that never works out for me. So I do individual rooms and then try to put it together, and then I kind of go off of what the individual room looks like because I always change it around. So I guess my answer is just that I try drawing individual rooms, and then when I go to throw it up, I just look at how that individual room is working out, and then I just turn the direction of it to figure out how it's going to do with the crowd control.
Mm-hmm. Well, all right. Okay, we're gonna move back over to Darren and Chris, and just a quick question. With the cost of the startup, did you, when do you actually start making your money back? I know your guys is a charity, but you're still making money. When did was it after the first year, second year? How much did it cost to start up? That would be a good question.
Start making money. That's tough.
Yeah, probably towards the end of the first year, maybe end of the second.
Yeah, we don't know most of the typical numbers. I mean, they don't give us a lot of the math.
But I mean, all of our money goes back to the restoration of the jail. So
yeah,
there ain't really anybody making money, so to speak.
I'm sure the first year they didn't. I guess the first year we did make quite a bit of money. They do give us a total of what we made, but they don't tell us what the budget number is. They don't tell us.
So do they give you like a budget as far as props and stuff?
No, we just tell them what we want, and they tell us whether we can get it or not. We usually can get building materials and stuff that we want, and with all the other events that the jail does have, because we have a lot of paranormal ghost huntings, we have professional paranormal companies coming and going year round. So between that and flashlight tours and all the other events, the jail has money in an account. I'm sure they take a portion of that, keep it for the haunt.
Right, but they still give you guys money, right?
Yes.
Okay, I was like, well, it's fun, but you gotta make a little bit of money.
Yeah. All three of us are volunteers for the jail year round. The haunt is just me, Chris, and Terry's main event. His wife Terry works at the haunt, of course, too. She also runs all the paranormal business.
Ah, okay. She got monopolizing it.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Okay, who's this fleshy eater?
That's Eddie. That's one of our actors. That was his first year last year, was being an actor. He was thrown in at the last minute. One of our guys had to quit. So his son is one of our main actors. And he just happened to be there one day, and we asked if he wanted to join in, and he's actually one of the best actors we had.
That's awesome. That's the best.
There's always some quiet ones that don't say they want to act. And you're like, hey, you want to do it? Okay.
Yeah. He's shy.
Nail on the head right there.
Yeah, he's a very shy person, but man, he was one of the best actors. Very outgoing.
John Boswell wants to know if you keep your props up year round.
No, we have to tear the haunt down year round, so everything gets put in the semi trailer and hauled off, and we have to go get the trailer and bring it back each year. This picture here is actually my son. We have a little system for the actors each year. If a patron actually admits that they've peed their pants, the kids.
That's great. Oh man, that's so cool.
The kid's name with their stickers, they get what's called, what is that called? The
golden banana
sticker. They do tell you they pee their pants, or you just hear it outright. But at the end of the season, we all have a meeting and we get them gift cards. Or Terry has her own shop where she makes creepy dolls. I make paper mache pumpkins. So we'll either give them something I've made or something she's made, or a gift card.
What was the record?
God, I have no idea. I couldn't keep track.
I think Chainsaw Charlie had them.
Yeah, Chainsaw Charlie is the big record holder.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of questions about whether or not you sell merchandise at your haunt.
Yeah, we do. We have t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies.
And Jordan Maddox wants to know what is the best seller for you?
T-shirts.
Probably t-shirts, yeah. Year round. Sell them year round.
Yeah, year round. All our events, they buy Jail of Terror stuff. Plus, we have other shirts for the haunt or for the jail too. But the Jail of Terror shirt's probably the biggest one, like the ones we're wearing.
Nice. Oh, this is pretty creepy looking child here.
Yeah, she is a creepy child without the makeup. Believe me. That's an actual dead bird.
Yeah, she for real collects dead birds.
And bats.
Oh, that's an actual real dead bird.
Yeah, that's a specimen area.
Yeah.
She wanted to take it home with her collection, so when we were doing photography, they threw the picture in, threw it in with her. She's a creepy one.
Cool.
Help me.
That is crazy.
That's creepy.
Yeah, and that's in the daylight.
That's great.
And that's just two more of the actors. Yeah, that's just two more of the actresses. Our makeup artists are straight makeup. We don't do any airbrushing. We do latex and just natural makeup. We don't do any airbrushing. The one there on the right-hand side, she was one of our makeup artists for a year, and then she wanted to be an actress. So,
Well, you could still be a makeup artist and then act right after.
yeah, they don't let us, as far as the county goes, the makeup artists can only get 2 hours. So they have to do one or the other. Some of the girls like her that did her own makeup the year before, so she does her own makeup each year now. And act.
Well, she wanted to be an actor, so she's an actor. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna move on to Justin. And I got Phil again.
Jesus. Here we go.
Yeah.
I like this picture though, so I'm gonna.
Okay, well. Oh, I was gonna say I have a question if you don't have a picture.
No, I do.
Okay. I love this picture. This is one of my favorites.
This is so cool.
Yeah, so this is in what we call Ward B. Ward B is kind of a special room. It is an idea and a type of room that I'm pretty sure I made up because I've never heard of anyone else ever trying it. It's what I call a riot room. Now, a riot room is how you make a room look crazy as hell without a lot of money. So years back, I realized we have no money, no expensive props, but I have a whole lot of actors. So what I do in our riot room every year is I stuff like a group of, I don't know, 30 actors in a room, and they're all attacking. Yeah, they're all attacking each other. They all are running around, hopping on stuff. It's a very active room. It's like a jungle gym. They all climb on stuff. They're in cages. There's hide scares all over the place. Just crazy. I tell all my actors in there that when the audience walks through, I don't want them to look at anything in our room because they're hunched over and ducked down the whole time because there's so many of you attacking them that they don't have anywhere other than straight down to go. And it happens. It's hilarious. And with our lighting and our cages and everything, these guys are just popping out of our dark and coming out of all kinds of places, hide holes. And the way we have it is where from one spot in our haunt, which is a room ahead, we have our doctor who stands in front, and then in back of him is a window that has a cage over it. Now, from that spot, you can look straight back into all of Ward B, which is a huge room. And so you see our doctor, who's a huge guy in a bloody mask, and then in back of him, just this crazy ass room with a riot happening, and you're like, I'm not walking in there. Good thing I'm walking this way until you walk around, and then you are walking in there. Good luck.
Yeah, that's good. That's pretty good.
We're having a lot of questions. Yeah. If you have that many actors in one room, how many actors do you have total?
I have over 100 actors.
Holy crap!
Damn!
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
So
damn.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
So yeah, we have a huge cast.
Do you pay them all, or are they volunteers?
All of them are a volunteer. All of us actually are owners. I am. All of us. So
right.
None of us.
So going back to the question that we asked Darren and them is, how much did it cost to get you started, and when did the profit start, or even have you made profit?
Wait, us? We have not made a profit to the point where we are paying anyone yet. We spend a lot. Like this last year, we got a new building. It was a boys and girls club, but we found out when we entered that they have no sprinklers and no alarms. In Indiana, you're required to have sprinklers if you're a haunted house. So we spent 80 grand on our sprinklers straight out of our gate. So
you had to rip out all your ceiling too, right? If I remember.
Yeah, and
wow.
Yeah. So as we have been working here, we're finding stuff that they just kind of hid, like even older than it was a boys and girls club. It was a grocery place. Now they had a freezer. When they left, instead of ripping out this giant, when I say a freezer, I'm talking this freezer is like the whole back of our building. So instead of ripping it out, they just built stuff around it and hid it. So now when we ripped out our roof over there, we found out that there's this giant freezer that is hanging down and is going to pretty much break and hurt someone, which is why we've been working on ripping it out for the last week. And now next year, I've got all these giant, it's a piece of metal that is as big as a piece of plywood. So I thought, these are rusted ass wall panels. I'm going to have the coolest freaking boiler room anyone's ever seen. So that's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we spend a lot of money, and we have our insurance and just everything that we haven't hit a point yet where we can pay anyone. We are hoping that comes really, really quickly, especially now that we are we hope we don't have any huge expenses like that in the next year. So that's an extra 80 grand that we don't have to.
Right. Hey, you never know. You never know what the boys and girls clubs, what's hiding in them walls and shit.
Yeah, no.
This picture right here reminds me. Someone asked the question early on, and I'm sorry I don't remember who it was. Are you a touch haunted house? Do you touch the people that come through?
Okay, here's how it works. I explained earlier. See, now I didn't just say no.
Sorry, you explained earlier. I wasn't paying attention. My bad.
Yeah, I explained earlier that we always try and push it. So we are not a haunted hoochie. I don't ever promise that. I don't promise that. I'm not trying to like make you say this is the most intense thing I've ever seen. Oh, that's not the haunted house I'm trying to put on. What we do, we have a blackout night where it is all hands-on, all language, everything, no holds barred. But on our regular nights, whenever anyone asks, like, will they touch me? I say maybe, because it might happen. It's really about our audience. Any stuff that happens where you are touched will happen in our line, where it's actors like me and all managers and stuff, because we read our audience and we can tell who's playful, who won't really care if I touch them and I play and stuff like that. So yes and no. It's really, you never know what will happen at our haunted house. Anything could happen. We have rats that we will haul out and have all over us, and we have just all kinds of stuff that we do. Anything we can do. Last year I played a drunk for one random night, and I dove in a bush pretending like I fell and cracked open my head and ended up getting a bunch of a huge cut and about an hour in the ER before I came back and started acting again.
That's dedication right there.
So,
dude, hey, I could so come to your hunt and be that person for you,
yeah.
without falling in the bush. I could still get the soiree, you know. That would be like, I could do that for you.
Have you ever had anybody complain about, maybe being a little bit touchy or anything of that sort? Because I know every haunt ends up running into somebody who ends up complaining.
Yeah, I mean, we have, but it's all about, like, we just say, number one, that doesn't happen often. It happened a lot in previous years. Like I explained earlier, we've built up our reputation that we're not the haunted trail. We're not the local haunted house that you bring the kids to. Haunted house is made for after the kids are in bed, where the parents come. So we don't really have a lot of problems anymore. I mean, there's always a few. It just happens. But we just say, like, we never told you it wouldn't happen. And anyone who asks, we never, ever will tell them no. And the back of our ticket, we literally took from Haunted Hoochie, we literally took what they have on back of theirs and rewrote it and changed its name to Our Haunted House. So if Hoochie can do it, anything that happens there, I think we'll be okay. So, I mean, it includes stuff like, it literally says, like, if you die inside, sorry, that's your fault. So
right, that's the way to do it. All right, we're gonna move on to on to Joe Klein. So let us know about the expenses. You know, what do you think it costs you to get started? Have you started making money yet, or are you still looking for it? Hey, okay. Put it this way: do you have ongoing expenses all year? You know, just like lay it on, like for the haunters out there that are thinking about doing it.
Yep. So I'll break it down for you. So like I said, before 2017, before we built up there, we did it in our garage, and we were yard haunters before that. So we put a ton of money into our garage hunt for 3 years, and then we got this opportunity to build up there. I'll cut it short for you guys. We have over $30,000 into what we put into it in 2017.
Over 30.
Yeah, over 30 G's. Yeah. And we, with rent and advertising and concessions and promotional products we had, and with weather screwing us, we took a huge hit. We did just over 2,600 people the entire time we were open. So we're in the rears pretty hardcore. But on the flip side of that, we knew that we would take at least 3 to 4 years before we could turn any kind of a profit on it. I didn't want it to start off that bad the first year, but it did. So this year, we're going to continue adding to it. We're going to build on it. We're going to pay our actors this year, which that's you guys before us were talking about that. I think that's a big deal. We had a lot of actors flake out on us. We had a lot of issues with volunteers.
But we also had a lot of awesome actors that showed up.
We did.
Yeah.
So are you gonna like take the ones that stuck it out and are good actors, and that's the ones you're gonna pay? Or
those are the ones we're immediately going to offer positions that we already have. They know they're going to get paid for this year because those are there's a group of about 7 of them that are just killer, and we need them. Those are the 7 people that would show up, and I'd say, you guys know where you want to go. They know what spots they want to fill. They know what costume to grab. I don't have to worry about that. The other spots we have to worry about, the guy that shows up and he disappears 2 hours later. I'm like, there's nobody at the screen door in the kitchen. What's going on?
Right.
Where is he? Where's my costume? He's gone.
Right.
Shit.
So do you use your main actors? Maybe you bring in some new blood. Use main actors to like tutor the new people.
Yeah, so I think what we're going to do is
some of our main actors actually have brought us some people that ended up turning out to be some really good people that have showed up, and we really appreciate the actors knowing people and bringing them in. And we have some really good people that have been with us since the beginning when we were just in the garage that have really stuck it out. And it's made a huge difference because they know what we're looking for. They know who the people are, and we love those people.
And to add to that, we're going to do some actor interviews, if you will, this coming spring and summer. We'll advertise for those. And I just want people that really want to be here. And if they can come to that audition, and we can talk. I mean, it's nothing huge, but I still want to, at least put up a side curtain and say, come around that corner and scare me real quick. Pick one of these 7 masks I got. What do you like? Just kind of feel somebody out, because you can tell pretty quick. You guys can all agree. If they're really into that, you can tell that. If they're not, maybe go down to the theater. I don't know.
But another thing we found out is sometimes people can be, when they get that mask on, they turn into a totally different person.
True.
You know,
Yes, that's what we were talking about before. Is like they were talking about the real shy guy, and then they put some makeup on, and all of a sudden he's like the scariest actor out there.
Right.
Exactly.
Actually, one of our best actors is like that.
Because nobody can see them for who they are. That's their character.
We got one actor that he's a good dude. I like him a lot. I've known him for a long time, and he's real quiet. And then you put a mask on him, he breaks every room I put him into. He busts the shit out of my drop panel. He just beats everything. What are you doing?
Oh my God!
You can't do this.
Our shock panel, he actually bloodied his knuckles. He had blood on his actual costume in our garage.
That was cool.
His actual blood. It was like down to the bone. The guy is insane.
Oh my gosh!
I would kind of think to watch out for that guy. You know,
he's too good.
You know what I'm saying? It's only going to take so long before he reaches that level that he's not entertained anymore. And he's going to take it out on somebody.
He's there. He's there.
That probably goes right into this question because Bryant Van Camp wants to know, how do you run your interview process when you're choosing these actors?
Yeah, oh shit! Damn, put you on the spot. Look out!
Like everybody has their own idea on this. When it comes to us, I mean, and we're learning obviously still. And I think we'll adapt and we'll grow to how we interview people that want to help us. The first thing I look for is I just want to know that they have a little bit of a passion for haunted houses, Halloween, anything. They like to dress a little brother up, take him trick or treat, and scare people behind a bush, whatever. You can pick out the passion that people have. As far as people that want to do the prime scares, because it's like anything else. It's like a Rob Zombie movie, right? We need extras and we need people that are scared the fuck out of people right here. Right here.
So like if they stab themselves, they're in.
Yeah, if you come over ketchup packets, and I'm like, oh shit,
he knows our lead actor.
Right. That guy's going to the front of the drop panel with the best costume I got. But you have to feel that out. And at the end of the day, we need to fill spots like the rest of us do, right? We all have spots we have to fill.
We don't have 100 actors.
We don't have 100 actors like this guy. I wish I had 100 actors. If I had 100 actors, I'm like, we're cool. I can show up an hour late. It's going to be sweet.
Dude, he feeds them a lot of booze, man. That's why.
Well, that's what I need. 20 drunk actors who can't open a drop pan open.
Right, dude. That's that's like one of the main actors.
That can be scary. The guy's trying to open it. No, but it depends on what spots we're filling for and what we're auditioning for. Then we'll attack that interview that direction.
I like the scene right here. This is pretty nice.
This is our dining room scene from Atmosphere Effects TV projection I took down. So that's a shot that people usually don't see, and all that detail work is this one.
Yeah.
I built the room, I squared it up, I did the base coats, and I left. I walked away, and I just kind of said, "Honey, can you finish this?" And that's what she did.
What'd you use to get the dust on the kitchen table type? It looks like it's dust.
Yeah, it is actually dust. That's that Fuller's Earth.
It's called Fuller's Earth that Hollywood uses to dust their scenes. You can order it on Amazon. It's really good stuff. It's a little pricey, but it goes a long ways. It's called Fuller's Earth. It's really good.
You heard it here first on Haunters Hangout.
I have never heard of that.
You take a chalk line or a ketchup bottle and you pour it in there and you just dust it and let it fall. It's killer.
In the beginning, before we found this stuff, I was using actually baby powder mixed with gray chalk.
Yeah.
And we ground the chalk down and mixed it in together, and I used that and it worked good, but not for a big, huge haunt.
The difference is Fuller's Earth doesn't smell, and baby powder smells like baby powder for 3 weeks.
True.
Not if you use our sponsors Foggy Spray.
Yeah,
yes. Come on, guys. Come on.
It's also chinchilla dust. If you go to your local PetSmart, you can buy it there.
Chinchilla dust? Is that like chinchilla dandruff? What is it?
No, it's chinchillas take dust baths, and that's what they use to dust them. Right. So you can get it from your local PetSmart if you don't want to order online. Cool. FYI.
Yeah.
I used to
actually, yeah.
What?
I was gonna say, hey, I got the viewers back. I asked a good question on that one. I didn't fuck up for once by not fucking up on the photos.
Good job, man. Good job.
Yeah. But
that's just that's a little bit better shot of our facade there. I boarded the front door shut, obviously. And that right window you're looking at was a projection we used from Atmosphere Effects, and it was a witch or a hag, if you would.
How tall is that?
The whole facade is over 22. It's right at 20 feet tall. That window to the right is right about 7 feet tall. We had a bunch of stuff going on in the top Gothic windows over the doors, which we'll change up this year. And then, like I said, next year, they'll actually go through the front doors. So I'll have to rechange the entire walkthrough, which is fine. We always did it in our garage. It was never the same. Kind of like Bill does. He always changes it. We want to do the same thing. I don't want people to get used to it.
I don't know. That's pretty impressive. 30 grand to start a haunt.
You know what? A lot of it's because stuff we had sitting around Diablo. We had the cemetery scene, all the fence, all the pillars, every tombstone that's in that cemetery on the left, we had. There's a kind of a shot of the witch there you can see. Obviously, I got all the house lights on, so it's not impressive. But at nighttime, when there's no lights on and there's just the thunder and lightning and the fog in the front there, it's really impressive.
Hey, I've got something that's impressive. Every single piece of siding that is on the front of that facade is done from fence panels that have been individually cut and stapled up there.
As well as the
Wow.
So you did it, didn't you? Did you do it?
Well,
See, look, you trying to throw me to the bus.
I know. 'Cause the way she was saying it, she was kind of giving that look like, I did this shit, bitch.
That was
it. Right? There's a shot of our fence facade at our garage on. You can see the garage way behind it. That's my brother and my little nephew looking up at it in the same angle.
I know you guys mentioned you guys did a yard haunt. I saw Sean Boswell had a comment that, what advice would you give somebody who's looking to start a yard haunt to eventually go pro?
Oh, dude.
Save everything.
Yes, there's all kinds of stuff you can save. I mean, who said don't do it?
That was in front of our garage.
That was our garage there.
Darren, I'm with you, bro.
You know what? It's been a struggle for us to get to where we're at now. But as many times as I stormed in the house just mad and dirty and bloody and ticked off at something I couldn't get to work, and you have to continue doing it, because she always told me, just go back out there and fix it. You got it, or take a night off. And our cemetery scene in our yard was so huge. I mean, this is 50 feet behind our facade you guys just saw on the fence. It was huge.
I always do like a couple shots or something and sit back, and then I'm ready
to do that
go
too,
back
right?
at it.
In the garage, and the
then
wife
go back at it
in the morning, and she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm thinking about it. I just got to figure it out."
Right.
But
right.
Learn from who you can learn from. I guarantee you, if you're it doesn't even have to be a giant town. If you're in a town, there's somebody else in that town that's doing the same thing you are, and they might be 5 years ahead of you. No, he said.
I wish. I wish.
Like you know. No.
I wish, man. I wish.
We were lucky enough to have really good friends we met that were a couple blocks from us that did the same thing and were really good at it. And so we learned from them, and we all bounced ideas off each other, and we all grew together. So if you have the passion for it, if you stick with it, you're going to find people networking, whether it's online like we're doing now, whether it's in your same town, whatever it is. You're going to figure out those avenues to learn from that stuff and get better at it. And then an opportunity is going to throw itself in your lap, and you're going to say, I'm going to go for it or I'm not. It's that simple.
Right. Does everybody still have like a daytime job?
Yes, sadly. I sell radio advertising, and it fucking sucks.
Right.
I'm talking to somebody that's spending 3 G's for the YMCA, and I'm thinking, I got to build this prop tonight. I don't give a shit. Sign up or don't.
He's like, I want 3 G's for my hunt.
Right? Yes.
Hey,
no, Diablo, listen to this. I work for an ophthalmologist, and I get people's eyes numb enough to be able to give them shots in their eye.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Dude, that is cool. I still watch all them videos. I still watch all the videos.
You watch that shit?
Yeah, I like it.
That's my day job.
Hey, when they like cut open the system, I watch all that shit. I watch all that shit.
Yeah, that's me.
I'm like, ew. Darren and Chris, you guys have a full-time job? Is that your job?
Yeah, I have a full-time job. He owns his own business. He has his own mechanic shop. So, yeah.
Does he put a lot of his money into it?
No, we don't put any of our money.
He's like, hell no. No. What about you, Justin?
I work.
Damn it, we all work. I hate that.
I'm a male stripper during the day.
I know, Bill. We were going to come down and see you tomorrow. If
Dude, I could tell Bill was a stripper because he got them lights flashing, just like just to give him that ambiance.
Ambience.
So we're gonna.
Here, I thought it was the pimp hat.
Right. So we're gonna move over to just Bill and same question. Can you remember what it was?
Hell no.
See, terrible. You were doing so good earlier.
I know.
Right. Well, it's the cost of the startup, and have actually started making money off it yet? And do you see making money in the future, or is the cost keep accumulating throughout the year without the income coming in?
Yeah, I'm not making any money on it yet. Anyways, this will be my 6th year. I think I put about 10 grand into advertising last year with everything, with all the events we went to and everything. But yeah, I still didn't make money doing it, but it doesn't matter because no matter where I get to do it at, I'm still going to do it because I'd be lost without this. So it really doesn't matter. It's beyond making money. Thank God, because I'm not, but hopefully someday I will.
You do have a day job then, do you?
Yeah, I do. Well, this stripping really pays off. So,
all those singles.
Hey, but do you work some of the haunt into your stripping job?
Yes. Yeah. Different masks and stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
Very sexy.
Yeah. Thank you. That's just more of the waiting room that you see there. That's just another side where I try to incorporate paint and stuff on the walls instead of actually having 3D material on there, just to kind of give the illusion of more of a 3D room.
Yeah, you do a really good job of airbrushing.
Thanks.
Yeah, you did.
It's all over my walls because I do a lot of it inside, so I airbrush everything on my walls, and that looks really cool. Not really, because then I got to paint it. But luckily, I am actually a painter, so.
There's his day job.
That's my day job.
Maybe it works into. See, I had a whole new respect for you with the stripping thing. Now it's like,
that's during the week. That's only on the weekends.
Okay.
So this is my doll room. I bought like 200 dolls last year from somebody, and the girl in the teddy bear there, that's actually my oldest daughter. And then the other girl there is one of his mothers, the girl who played Mother. That's her daughter, and they just sat there in that room. I told them, "This is your room. Do whatever you got to do." And they sat there in that room on the floor with their face buried in their hands, so they looked like they were not real. I mean, this is obvious with the lights on, but it worked really well because people didn't know where to go. And the actual exit to this room is a closet that's off to the right, where you see a bunch of clothes hanging in the doorway. So they got to actually exit the room through a closet. So that room just worked out really good for just throwing a bunch of dolls in there. Yeah.
Oh, it does look pretty cool.
This is probably my favorite every single year. This is my asylum. I found a bunch of these. Now, these are box springs, not mattresses. For the people who think this is disgusting, these are box springs, not mattresses, from a sorority house. So there probably would be all kinds of funky stuff if it were mattresses, but these are box springs. So anyway, they threw them out one day, and I said, hallelujah, these are fantastic.
Hey, they flip the mattresses around after a year, right?
No, but these have been on. There's a reason why there's not a black light in that room.
The yellow germ's a little scarier, It just adds to the fear.
I'm just saying.
You may or may not come out with a venereal disease. Go on in.
They flip that shit around, bro.
And you know what? And every single year, that room has its own unique smell. Now I add, sometimes you go in through there and you smell perfume, and other times you might smell sex, but I add stuff from Froggy's Fog. That's a sponsor.
A sponsor. Yes.
Thank you. So I add something from Froggy's Fog every year, and those just seem to combine with each other, and it's something different every time you walk through. I swear that the ghosts that are on those box springs, the dead ghosts, you know what I mean, are haunting that place and making the smell.
The poor children never made it.
Yeah, the dead children. Exactly. Thank you. So every year I do that differently. It's a maze, and that's the wrong way, but it's the most obvious way. Everybody always walks down the wrong way. I just love that little asylum. I couldn't have made that stuff because it's that blue and white stripe material. It just works great. I think I got 60 of those.
Nate Dingman has a really good question for you. With all of the hidden exits throughout your haunt, do you have a problem with people backing up? And if so, how do you control that?
Yeah, lots of people go backwards. They go backwards, and then the actors push them forward.
I think he meant people piling up and not moving forward.
No. So my haunt is set up with different audible cues for the actors throughout the haunt, so they know where people are, and also so that helps out, so you know where people are before you send another group in. But then I also have radio communication to let them know when to send the next group in. But then also because it's a little over halfway before we send the next group. And there's also what we did last year was there's a mat switch, and when they step on that, not only does it do an audible cue, but it also runs a huge extension cord all the way to the front to a small light that goes off. So they also know that that's when they're at that point in the haunt, because it's so far back. So that way we have it really far spaced apart so that people never bunch up. If that answers Nate's question.
Oh, pretty cool.
This is the typical spider room. I had nothing to do with that at all. This was my girlfriend Melissa. I said I want to do a spider room, have fun, and she did a very good job. She did all that by herself. So there was an air cannon right there as soon as you walked around the corner, and it got them right in the ankles. And those walls were very well enforced because they were trying to knock them down.
I'm surprised you never did like the ankle whippers or whatever, that fright props that what they do, you know.
Yeah, the air whips, the
air whips. Yeah, thank you. There you go.
Yeah, the problem with whips is, man, it takes up a lot of air, man. You gotta have some you gotta have like a big ass tank, man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what no one says.
All right, we can't go from the hallway to the whips. It's just going downhill.
Oh, and I'm a stripper. And box springs or mattresses. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, this is a combination of a couple of scenes that I just made into a big scene. It's kind of like a factory, but then there's some morgue panels in there. And this is actually my girlfriend's son. This was his first year being an actor, and he did fabulous in there. I just really like this picture with the light right behind his head. Those are cardboard tubes from carpet rolls, because I'm on job sites every day, so I tend to hoard a lot of stuff off of.
Dude, my brother-in-law's a carpenter. I use all the tubes. I'm like, just bring me all the tubes. Yeah, they work.
I don't even know how many I got. They're great.
Yeah.
Yep. And they're just laying up there. So they're not attached to anything. They're just laying on top of the wall panels. And every couple of groups go through, they're like, the tubes fell down again. Like, okay, cool.
Yeah,
I'll put them back up.
They don't hurt you. It's like, like, what was that? Dude, it's like a tube hit me. It's perfect. Right. All right, we're going to move on to Darren and Chris. And I'm there. Oh, is that it, Phil?
Huh?
Yeah, look at him.
Yeah.
Look at
that photo.
That's just a picture of the actual crew that our first year, we had a photographer do our pictures. It's me and Chris and Terry. The guy in the front was the president of the board that runs the jail, the LCGPS. That's Jim. It was his original idea to start a haunted house. And he's the one that kind of gathered us up and got us together to get it started. So yeah, that's just basically, we had a photographer that year, so we had a lot of pictures taken.
It's always nice to have a photographer, man.
Oh yeah,
it's always nice.
Now the guy that's choking him in the picture was an actor that year. He is actually our acting director now. That's Jaron. He's the warden character of the jail, and we keep that warden character going with somebody else now, but Jaron handed it over and wanted to do some teaching, so he actually teaches all the actors every time we hire him.
That's awesome.
And there's our new warden. That's Dawn. That's our new warden. He's got a lot of money in his own costume. He actually bought his own costume. $600 to $800, I think he spent on that costume.
Yeah, it's all real deal law enforcement.
Yeah.
Wow.
All the stitching and all the uniforms all came from like real deal stuff.
It's real bad. He had patches made. You can't see him on his shoulder, but they say Warden of Jail of Terror.
Wow.
Yeah, he's pretty dedicated. He's actually
he gets into it.
He's one of the best characters we have. He's actually going to be doing some training this year too.
Right. He's like, I ain't even gonna get this bitch. Oh, he did get it dirty. I was like, he's like, I got a new costume. They ain't getting dirty.
That's from the first season that he did.
That's the first season he did the Warden. So yeah, that's the old costume. He didn't get the new one dirty. He kind of works outside in the line. He kind of roams the whole building through the haunt. You might see him anywhere in the haunt. And these
I was gonna
kids,
say he looked like a Q line actor.
he is. He's awesome because he'll mess with them in line forever, and then they go through the haunt and they get through the middle of the haunt and he appears. You know, it scares the hell out of him, but
Very effective.
very effective. His makeup is super intense. That's Dakota there doing his makeup. This awesome makeup artist.
Yeah, I was gonna say that makeup looks awesome. Is that like supposed to be flesh hanging down?
Yeah, kind of a skeleton sticking through them. What she makes it look.
No, Philly, it's acne.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Courtney Jean Rourke wants to know how long does it take to go through your haunt?
10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, anywhere from 10 if it's quick, all the way up to almost 18 if it's somebody.
How much you guys charge to go through?
This year is it 17 last year? I think we agreed to stick with 17 this year.
How do you guys determine what
Between
how much to charge?
We started off at 15 3 years ago, and of course the board likes to up the prices.
Right.
With us, and we'll argue if we want to argue.
Did you tell them you need to up the budget?
Yeah, up the price, up the budget. Yeah.
Kelly Greger wants to know how much time do you have to allow for makeup and costuming each day?
We do 2 hours. We have 3 makeup artists, and of course Terry too, so it makes 4 hours.
Yeah, it's a well-oiled machine. They get it done, right on it, right down to the click every time. We're usually average almost 30 actors, so it's right down to it.
Well, that's pretty good. 30 actors is 2 hours. Pretty good. All right, we're gonna move over to Justin. Haha, gotcha.
What?
Got him what, dude?
I'm here.
Hey,
Look at that.
I always get him because I tell him I'm going to be switching over. I'm going to be switching over to the next the next guest, and he's sitting there looking around like you don't know where the picture's at. It's like you got one job, man.
I do. So Justin, what's going on in this scene right here?
All right, so these are our nurses, and our nurses hang out in our showers. In back of them there, you can kind of see I've got these blood tubs I made out of we bought these it's like a gore board from what is the company called? From Ghost Ride. And the one on the right actually has a big pair of boobs. We ordered that one especially. So it's nice. But it's kind of like you're walking through, and I wanted a place to have nurses, and it's hard to kind of do because you can't have these little girls intimidating huge guys. So you have to come up with how do I make them scary. Because I don't want them to be that kind of classic, I'm going to hang out here and just watch you and act kind of creepy as you walk by. I want my nurses to feel like these kind of like these bad bitches as you're walking through that everyone's really afraid of. So I came up with that room. So this next room here is again in Ward H. It's our morgue, and with our tail and stuff, the drug
looks like
that
he's about 15 feet tall.
no, it's just an awesome angle on our camera. So and a small fridge. So it's our morgue, and we've got all our guys in no t-shirt, an apron, and a pig mask. So there's all kinds of hanging bodies and hanging pigs and a freezer and morgue doors and tables. A lot of animations in there. So that room is pretty sweet. And
Sean Boswell
again,
wants to know. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're fine.
Sean Boswell wants to know, how do you distress your walls and your props and things?
So it's a mix of a lot of stuff. So I use a lot of methods that I've learned from Alan Hops, a lot of methods I've learned from Bart, Butler. Yeah. A lot of stuff from The Darkness, all of his movies. It's really different. There's not one answer. So there's a lot of spraying stuff. There's a lot of.
It's like where you came back to is like YouTube, man. It's like
absolutely. I learned half of what I know from YouTube, but there's not really one answer. So in like one area with one product, you might have it like painted on and then wipe it off. In another area, it's like a spraying thing, all kinds of stuff like that. I just kind of ask like what happened in this room, and you really want it to look realistic. So especially this year, I'm moving away from the kind of classic where you add a black paint or whatever on top and then it runs down, and I'm moving into other ways of doing it. And then I also add a lot of layers. So it's a dirt, a blood, a dust, and then a spider web all over like one area, and then props and stuff, and add it all in. I say like whatever dirt or whatever is on walls is the same stuff that would be on a prop that is right by whatever wall is there. So yeah, that's
where's this character come in?
Yeah, I like this girl.
So this chick is actually.
How'd you know it was a girl?
Because I follow him. What's wrong with you? I watch his videos.
I do too, but I don't remember that one.
Yeah, she's the one on stilts.
So this is Angel, and Angel has a huge role in our haunt. Angel is one of our actors outside. Angel is also our head makeup artist. The room that Angel is in right now is our we call it the a courtyard, and we did kind of like what a few other haunters on here have done is we built a room that's outside but it's inside. So we have mulch on our ground, we have a bunch of branches up top, and we have rain and lightning and all of that stuff. This guy is actually kind of funny. We won that mask on Hunter's Hangout. So we won that.
Here you go.
Yeah. So,
sponsors.
Dude,
and,
he looks creepy as hell, too.
Yeah, he does.
So it has this really wide mouth, and luckily he has a really, when he smiles, it's really wide also, and it blends in with his mask so well. I was like, you have to wear this all the time, and he did. So he's in one of our rooms in Ward A, which is kind of like each room is themed around whatever guy or girl was in that room. So his room is a freak room. He's kind of an old, like a freak, and now he's trying to recreate like his family again of freaks. So he's always happy when like a fat guy walks in, or some man that has a beard or whatever it is, and he'll act off of our audience and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a really nice character. I like that. All right, we're getting pretty close to the end, but we're gonna finish up the last two. We're gonna go to Joe and finish up his pictures.
You know what? That was cool when I had it in the garage. But that's embarrassing now. But
I like this picture. I think this picture's awesome.
That's pre-dirty wash. You know how many hours it took me to stencil those two walls you're seeing, not the two walls behind us? Good God. You know, that was a sick hallway that year. That was our garage. That was maybe a 9-foot stretch, 9x3. And in that little partial oval mirror you're seeing at the end there, we had a scissor extender coming out of the wall there the light would come on, and he'd come out and he'd hit that mirror right when they got down to it. It scared the crap out of people. It was cool, but we put a lot of work into those garage haunts, and thank God we did, because to go from building,
Yeah, we learned a lot from the garage.
We absolutely. So there's looking into our corpse hallway from the other side that we talked about a couple slides ago. And
flip it around, Phil. Flip it around.
Yeah.
Blame it on Phil.
You can see on the right side there is the other siding of the house, so we're coming into the corpse hallway there. And the cellar door there is leaned back, so it's cool because when you walk down, the cellar door is leaned back, so you feel like you're walking down, and that you have to dip under that door, and you don't. It's all solid level surface, but that's into the corpse hallway there. It's pretty fun.
What's on the left there?
On the left, there's just a bunch of vines and shrubs and stuff that we found outside that we stapled up over it to make kind of an archway and continue.
Cool.
So how do you get them not to die by the time the hunt's over?
They totally died.
Okay.
We threw in some ivy and some leaves and some vines we bought from Amazon, which you can get super cheap. We got like 176 square foot of it for, I don't know, $45. And it was a bitch to unwrap them and staple them up, but it was worth it.
Right. Oh, I love this room. This
is a shot of this is one side of our library. As you walk into it, and we got bookcases all over the whole thing. There's actually a drop shelf there on the bookshelf on the left, the third shelf up, with the real hangy cheesecloth there is it's an animatronic. And when you hit the motion sensor, that shelf drops, and it's got some pretty weighted skulls on it. So when it hits hard. And by that time, they're looking to the other side of the room at some really cool detail work that my wife did. So it's a complete misdirection shot. It scares the shit out of people. It's awesome.
Oh, that's great.
That's just a shot of the cemetery from right when you're going to turn the corner to the corpse hallway, looking back at it. You're looking at a skeleton prop there. His name's Victor. I name all my props because, I don't know, it makes me feel good. And, he comes up about 1.5 feet, 2 foot, and he flies out at you, and he hits pretty hard. And, again, like I told you guys earlier, a buddy of mine and I built that together, Bill, and he does a really cool garage haunt. He taught me a lot about animatronics, and that was one of the first props him and I ever built together. But that guy gets a good scare, and I can move him wherever I want. He always will get a good scare.
Very cool.
Well, Michael Peters wants to know, with all of that, the shrubbery and leaves that you use, do you ever have any problems with fire codes?
So we have.
That's a good question.
That is a great question.
All the dead.
So the fire marshal's been through. I think I said earlier that the front, we are in a haunted house with somebody else. So our buildings are connected, but they're different entities. So the gentleman that had the haunted house in front of us, his name's Gary. It's called Harris Haven Funeral Home. He's been in business for
10 years.
Yeah, 10 or 11 years.
At that location.
Before that. He's been in it for 20-some years. But the back half of this building was open. So the fire marshal knows. And when we started building, we talked to the fire marshal and said, "Hey, here's what we're going to do back here. Are we okay with doing this?" Because you have to do that. If you build everything and don't talk to a fire marshal, they'll come and shut you down.
Right.
And then you got 30 G's trapped into shit you can't use. So we were very upfront with everybody that was involved with this, with code enforcers, fire marshals, everybody, to make sure that we knew what was going to go on.
Between sprinklers.
They knew what was going to go on and what we were trying to do, and that we were going to charge people that come in here before we ever took a wall down or put a wall up. So you have to do that. I can't stress it enough. You have to.
Right. All right, Jamie, we got any more questions for them before we move on to Just Bill? Put you on the spot too, didn't I?
Here's a question. I have one from Sean Boswell. How do you keep your patrons from messing with all of those awesome props as they walk through?
We have the way we designed our haunted house. And I think Just Bill talked about this earlier, that he's got his actor hallway through the middle. We have an actor hallway through the entire outside perimeter of our haunted house. Not to mention, I run everywhere in that haunted house every night. I'm not just me, but there's 4 or 5 of us that are within a second from any patron.
And we have security cameras.
We do have security cameras. So we are all over it as far as if somebody does. For example, last year we had a guy come in, he was super drunk. I mean, drunk, bad news drunk.
That was me.
Yeah, Diablo takes a lot.
Diablo was stumbling around, couldn't handle it. But no, so we can get radio contact with our security people saying, "Hey, this guy just came and he's really hammered. We should watch him," and then we can put somebody behind him to follow him through. So we don't typically guide our groups through, but if somebody is being belligerent or we're a little nervous about it, we'll throw somebody behind them to walk through with them.
Nice.
And that's how we make sure they don't screw with our stuff.
Hey, that's good.
Plus, we have an Oz room that we can watch all the security cameras in every room that they're in.
Oh, very nice.
We need that.
I need that.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
So,
Just Bill.
Oh, stripper.
I was gonna say Bill.
Oh,
Here it goes. Now it's a party.
Forgot where I was. Sorry, my bad.
Hey, remember, it's a no pants show. Don't stand up. Come on.
This is the same picture as before. You've seen my girlfriend's son standing there with the light behind him. So just a cool little room that I really just threw together with a bunch of different props. All the vines are just newspaper that's corpsed. It's just wrapped in plastic and a heat gun, and it's got some red on it, some brown, and whatever. It's real simple to do. Just toss them and throw them wherever. Oh, I fucking hate this hallway.
I love it.
What? That's awesome.
Oh God, this room drives me nuts. But everybody's like, "Oh, those black light panels are so cool," and that drippy skull, that's really cool. I don't know why. I hate this room.
I'll take it.
So I guess I don't need to ask you the question, what do you wish you hadn't done in your home?
Yeah, you're looking at it. There's like 12 of these panels, and I don't know why. I don't know why. It just drives me nuts. These things are just so stupid looking to me, but everybody likes them, so I keep the damn things instead of.
And yet, this is the picture you chose to show us. Why?
Well, it's because it's not about me, Jamie. It's about everybody else.
I like this picture. I will say, I like this picture.
Exactly. See, I just don't know why. I just don't like this stuff. But everybody likes them. I came up with a bunch of different. I airbrushed all this crap.
I love the skulls on the side.
Yeah,
we're getting a lot of questions
skulls.
on is this 3D?
No, it's not actually. I don't know. What does it take to actually be 3D? I've never even looked into doing something like that. Yeah. So no, it's not 3D paint. It's just fluorescent paint. And what I did was like the green, I would paint it regularly green first, and then I'd go over it with a fluorescent aerosol to make it pop.
What?
So that's just the like the skull that you see right there on the right, the green, the orange, the pink. That's just regular paint, and then I just aerosoled over it.
Okay, well, now's the time for us to mention that you should do a tutorial for our awesome Hangout.org.
Okay, let me say that again. What?
Okay.
Wait, so hold on.
Okay.
Do you have like glasses that people wear when they come through there to give the 3D illusion, or is that just you're just painting it that way and calling it a day?
Yeah, just painting it that way, and then there's a black light LED that's shining on that. So there, you're just seeing the one hallway because it goes around the corner too. There's about 12 different ones, but it does kind of really pop out. Like I said, everybody's like thinks this is so cool, but I hate it.
How long have you had it?
I've had these for 5 years.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
It is very cool.
That's
probably why you're so good.
Okay, I'll put them back up again this year. Whatever.
Yeah, well, you better. Just Bill.
Just Bill. Just Bill.
Just Bill.
Oh, these damn things. This is actually probably my second favorite room next to the asylum, the mattresses, box springs. Just because I love Frankenstein's monster. That's all. I made him, it's just a mask, but I also made the guy next to him, the electric chair guy, and that is literally just a stupid skull with some hands, but the dude looks so real, and he was on a matte switch also with some of Fright Prop's crackers on there.
Mm-hmm.
That's a sponsor. And it was triggered with a strobe light too. But you know what was really good in this room is I added the smell of campfire. And so as soon as you walked into that room, it just smelled like something was burning. And it worked really well. And I think that's why I chose this picture. But
hey, where'd the smell come from?
The smell?
Yeah.
Froggy's Fog, yes.
Oh, there you go. Hey, wait, they get a sponsor from us? Yeah, there.
Yeah, that's yeah, okay.
Funny you should mention that.
This was my tip of the hat to the movie It when it came out last year. That's Georgie standing there in the corner before you go through the last room. And the last room was supposed to look like you're going through a sewer. It had the blue lights down low with the low fog. It was really cool. And then all the about halfway down your body, there was 100 red balloons that got blown up and hung from the ceiling in there that you had to navigate your way through. So I didn't do helium. I did them upside down. So you had to either duck down into the fog and crawl through there or go through the balloons. And
nice.
Everybody liked that. I mean, it was just, for the It, and that's just a wall panel right there with a stupid clown on it. But yeah, it was real simple, except for I wasn't the one that had to blow up all the damn balloons. So it was real easy for me. I just came up with the idea. Oh, that retard right there. That's me again. I love the whole cracker idea. Yeah, I just made it into a shotgun. Oh, I would shoot people because I'd stand real still and they thought I was a mannequin or whatever, and I'd shoot them as they came up to the entrance.
So you have the battery pack on you?
No, it's actually plugged into an extension cord, but you can't see it.
Oh, wow. That's the boomstick.
Yeah, not the cracker. So it was nice and loud. And then everybody always comes and takes their picture underneath that damn deer every year. And I've been having requests for several years that I got to make the deer spit. So I got to hook up a mister to him and make him spit.
There you go. I think Fright Prop sells something like that.
Yeah.
They do. Yeah, they do.
All right. Well, I think that's it, guys. And it's been an amazing show. You guys have tons of information. Please go back into the questions in the comments and answer. Look, I know it's going to take a while, but try to answer what you can. I mean, man, there was a lot of info, a lot of insight. It's crazy.
Sure. Thanks for having us on.
Thank you so much, guys. It was nice meeting everybody.
Yeah, I mean, you guys just gave all the. If I'm gonna go pro, I'll come back and watch this show, and then I'm gonna go pro.
If we're gonna continue going pro, we're gonna call you.
Diablo, you're moving to Iowa.
Right. But we're gonna move over to Jamie, and she's gonna tell us who won all the prizes.
Yeah, and I'm actually going to show you the prizes again while we're at it.
Yeah.
So you can remember what you won. Okay, so I'm going to butcher some names. I apologize. So this mask from Face Factory was won by Sean Boswell.
Woohoo! Face Factory effects.
Yes. The two flash crackers from Fright Props was won by Nikki Spoon or Spoohin. Yeah. That. The Sinful Audio. What?
Hold up. It's 2 crackers, so that's 2 people.
No,
Oh,
it's
jeez.
not.
Yeah. So go
All
back.
right, well,
Go back.
All right. Well, give me a minute. I'll come back to that.
Phil
Okay.
Ricosa. Thank you.
I'll pick somebody in a minute. Okay. The Sinful Audio was Anthony Lordigan.
Woo! All right.
The Ornaments was Michael Peters.
You're never gonna get that right.
Well, you know, if I did, you'd be bored. 1 gallon of fog from Froggy's Fog is Terry Long.
Oh, I thought it was Joe Fine.
The awesome fluorescent flicker kit from Hot Labs goes to Aaron Kaza, C-A-Z-A, Kaza. Yay! And don't forget, everybody gets 50% off of Sam Haines if you go to their site and use Honders, all capital letters. Yay! The realistic looking skull from Nightmare Makers goes to Brandon Frederick. The Hollywood FX hybrid alcohol airbrush makeup from I Love FX Makeup goes to Shane Helmstadter. I suck at this. Why do you give me this job?
Because I don't want to do it.
All right, the pair of lenses from Exotic Lenses, non-prescription, but still awesome, goes to Michael Peters.
Nice.
Your choice of 1 of 4 knives from Hardcore Fabrications and a t-shirt goes to Ryan Greger.
Woohoo!
Yeah, Ryan.
The $25 gift card from Hotwire Foam Factory goes to Matthew Miller.
Nice.
Yay! And the prosthetic from Justin Fears of Phobious Haunt goes to Kat Fry.
Woohoo!
Okay. Now y'all talk for a minute while I figure out this last one because I didn't realize that was 2 prizes. Don't judge me, man.
Right. Right.
No judging.
In the Justin Fears, the prosthetic brow, that is for a show that's going to be in 2 weeks. That's 2 weeks. We're going to have Jackie Lantern. She's going to do an airbrush job, and then we got Justin's going to do the brow. And the brow, he's giving you everything that he's doing except for the actual makeup part. You know, the actual, the colors. But you can do it along with him, and so.
Nice.
All right, so just so you know, I just opened up the chat and just pointed to a name with closing my eyes, and that name is Keith Johnson. Yay! You won the other flash cracker.
All right,
So we're done.
Yeah, we want to thank everybody for coming on. You guys were amazing. Tons of information. I mean, great show. I enjoyed it. I hope everybody else did. And we're out. And we'll put the link in the feed if you guys want to join us.
Oh, and if I called your name, message me.
Yeah.
Please.
Right.
So I can get to your prize.
Tune in next week. Thank you.